Hello guys, my name is Amit Sani and I welcome you in this daily PIB analysis video. These videos they come in the evening and in the morning. These Hindu editorial videos they come, and the PDFs you get on the Telegram channel of StudyIQ and on my Facebook group of Amit Sani group for IAS preparation. So this is about this particular PIB videos. These are extremely crucial. All these datas are very crucial for prelims and mains both. This compilation is really up to the mark for the UPSC standard. UPSC asks direct questions from this PIB data. That's why it's important. And the pen drive courses of StudyIQ, these are created by experts and these selected people. So these are extremely helpful in all these examinations. So you can call these numbers and you can ask for them. MCQs that I gave to you yesterday, ePathshala is developed by NCERT, not by DIETS. So this is wrong, and it does not give any kind of financial support. It is regarding the e-courses which are there on the portal. So D, none is the correct answer here. Next, Samagra Shiksha is a centrally sponsored scheme. It's not a sector scheme. Sector's funding comes totally from center, 100% funding from center, but it is a sponsored scheme. So that's why it is wrong, and it subsumed three previous schemes of Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, RMSA and teacher education. That's correct. And these all were also centrally sponsored schemes. Okay, so this is right. So only 2 is the correct answer here. Next, National Scheme for Incentive to Girls for Secondary Education, NSI GSC. It is implemented by Department of School Education and Literacy by Ministry of HRD. So C is the correct answer here. And next, the data from the Department of Space. You see GSAT 31. It is launched successfully from French Guiana. It is not by PSLV or GSLV of India. You see, this happens when we have very less satellites, or maybe some other country has less satellites, and any country, maybe India or some other country, if they are launching their rocket and if they have some additional space left, so they can accommodate satellites from some other country. So it is not regarding somebody's capability, and it is not like that our rocket is better or their rocket is better. It is about the accommodation. It is about the finding a cheaper way. So we don't need to launch a separate rocket for this particular GSAT 31. So from this French Guiana's space launching station, this latest communication satellite was launched, GSAT 31. It is going to be the communication satellite, and you see these communication satellites, these are always established in these higher orbits, and that is around 36,000 kilometers, because these are in this geostationary orbit. Geostationary means these are going to be stationary always. If you look at the satellite from any place on the earth, it is going to remain at the same position always. Okay, always you will find it in the same position. One is geosynchronous. Geosynchronous means in 24 hours once the satellite would appear on the same location, but in the geostationary it is always fixed at a particular position. So you must have noticed this thing with the DTH service providing these dish TV antennas and all. They are always pointing towards a particular direction, and they are fixed, and these are geostationary satellites, and they are fixed. That's why their direction, these dishes direction, is also fixed. Okay, so that is the issue. And the height is 36,000 kilometers. It is not the low earth orbit. Low earth orbit is around 700-800 kilometers, and other satellites, imaging satellites, they are fixed in these low earth orbits. So it is not low earth orbit, it is high earth orbit, geostationary and geosynchronous. And you see GSAT, it's a satellite for communication. 2 points are perigee, apogee. You see when it is a particular star or a particular planet, and some body as a satellite or some planet, if it is revolving around it, then always it is not a perfect sphere. Okay, you see this distance is larger than this one, and you see when it will appear here, then it is closest to the particular star or particular planet. If it is a satellite, then it is going to be a planet, and the distance is shortest here. It is called perigee. And when it is farthest from here, then this point is called apogee. So perigee and apogee. So perigee for this is 250 kilometers, and apogee is around 36,000 kilometers. And this is under this transitional phase when we are establishing this satellite in its orbit. Maybe it's a low Earth or high Earth orbit. and you see it is going to provide the communication service to the Indian mainland, and it is going to help in this VSATs for ATM, virtual satellite technology, stock exchanges, DTH television services, digital satellite news gathering. So all these things are communication based particular services, and e-governance application also. So these all services would be provided by this particular GSAT 31. Next, Ministry of Agriculture's data providing greater access to the rural milk producers. You see, when we talk about the non-farm income and we talk about the doubling the farmers' income, then that this non-farm income becomes much more important, and the livestock and the horticultures, these are two important components under the agricultural sector which are great income boosters. So these milk cooperatives like Amul and all, they are doing a great job, and they have changed a total scenario on the ground level, because this livestock purchasing farmers, they are incentivized heavily with this particular milk production. So that's why it needs more and more support, and one fund is there, that is DIDF, Dairy Processing Infrastructure Development Fund, that has approved some projects of 3147.22 crore cost. And you see some particular schemes are going on for the dairy development industry, that is NPDD, National Program for Dairy Development, NDP, National Dairy Plan Phase 1, and DEDS, Dairy Entrepreneurship Development Scheme. So these are going on, and DIDF, as I discussed, this is a fund, and it provides loans to these people, farmers who are going to invest in these rural milk production technologies. And soft loans are also given by World Bank and Japan's International Cooperation Agency, JISA. Okay, so these are the things. And next, National Action Plan is also created for this dairy development and milk production to the target for 2022, because they have shifted all the targets to 2022, whether it's housing, whether it's renewable energy, whether it's doubling the income of farmers, and all kinds of projects. You would see 2022 is the deadline. And you see, for this particular doubling of income, they have set a target of milk production of 254.5 million ton by 2022, and annual growth rate of 8.56 is required for this. So anyhow, they have to get this. And per capita milk consumption in India, that is less, so they are targeting 515 grams per day by 2022. Today, if we talk about this per capita consumption, that is far less if we compare it with the developed countries data. So that's important, and it is the situation where India is the biggest producer of milk. You see, it is the reality, but the per capita consumption is very less. And you see, organized milk handling by these institutions, organizations, these cooperatives, that's called organized milk handling, where they have all the data, all the production. So it is going to be increased from 21% of present to 41% by March 2022. Okay, so more and more organized sector would be developed under this milk production, and cooperative share would rise from 10% of present to 20% in 2022. So these are the targets under this milk production area. And you see, these data are always asked in UPSC, specifically when they are targeting, when they are approving some projects. So these are important. Next, Ministry of Labor and Employment's data, NCS project, National Career Service. There was a question in UPSC's Prelims 2016 regarding this National Career Service. It is by Ministry of Labor and Employment, and they started way back in 2015, and they are actually signing these memorandum of understandings and memorandum of cooperation with these private stakeholders and other companies, job portals, placement organizations. So anyhow, at any particular level, maybe it's a government organization, private or concern, or something like that, so youth should get the job. That is the ultimate aim. So this National Career Service project is by Ministry of Labor and Employment. And you see, next data is also from this same ministry, when they are giving you this compilation of the schemes for employment generation in the country, because a lot of criticism, and the biggest criticism for the present government is going on regarding the employment opportunities, and they are finding it very difficult. And recently the issue of National Statistical Commission, where these people they resigned, two members resigned. One was acting director for this NSC. So when these two resigned, And the issue was that this NSE is being ignored and they did not release the December 18th employment data. So because of these contexts, these data, they become very, very important this year. You see, the schemes like PNEGP, Employment Generation Program, that is by Ministry of MSME, that is a major employment generator, but always fund crunches are there. If these are supported financially, then these are the major employment generators after agriculture, okay, the MSME sector. So by Ministry of MSME, and this Narega and Deen Dayal Upadhyay Grameen Kaushal Yojana, this Grameen Kaushal Yojana, these both are by Ministry of Rural Development. Remember this. There are very confusing schemes regarding skilling. So this Grameen Kaushal is by Rural Development, and one is Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, and urban component is National Urban Livelihood Mission, and it is the component of Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana. It is by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. There is a rural component of this particular Antyodaya Yojana is also there, NRLM, that is Rural Livelihood Mission. Okay, so that is under different ministry. Next, Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, where collateral free loans are given, and you see this scheme is going on. 3 categories are there: Shishu, Tarun and Kishore categories are there, and up to 10 lakh rupees are given collateral free loans. And 25th January 2019 till this date, 15.59 crore loans have been sanctioned under this scheme. Next is Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Protsahan Yojana. It is by the Ministry of Labor and Employment, same ministry, and they are incentivizing employers. You see, they are employers, these organizations or these companies and all, these are employers. If they are providing loans to their employees, then if the number is more than 20 for these employees, then certainly they need to mandatorily register themselves with the EPFO organization, where it is regarding the provident funds, the fund which is accumulated for the post-retirement phase. So contribution is there from the employer and contribution is there from the employee both, and this money is deposited in the PF account. So here the employer's share would be given by government. So this is the scheme regarding this employer's share that is going to be borne by government for the next 3 years. Okay. And you see, a lot of issues are going on regarding this EPFO organization. Government is producing the data of EPFO, and they are claiming that according to the EPFO data, we have generated a lot of jobs, lakhs of jobs in the last 2-3 years. So this is going on. Next, Ministry of Skill Development. It has a flagship scheme of Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, and that is the confusion. That particular scheme was Deen Dayal Upadhyay Grameen Kaushal Yojana by Ministry of Rural Development, and this is Kaushal Vikas Yojana by this Ministry of MSDE, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. And the important component are going on: short-term training, recognition of prior learning, the people who have got some training already and some addition is required, so they are coming under this prior learning scheme. This was asked in 2017 prelims data, and special projects are going on under this Kaushal Vikas Yojana. It's a flagship scheme of MSDE, and the second phase is going on for 2016 to 2020. 1.0 was the first phase, and after its completion, successful completion, they are running the second component of it, second version of it, that is going on for 16 to 20 year. And next data is regarding the national gas grid, where northeast region, these 8 states are under focus, and they are developing the gas grid there in this area. One IGGL, that is Indradhanush, not Prasth. Indraprastha is the different limited. This is Indradhanush Gas Grid Limited, where 5 PSUs, IOCL, ONGC, GAIL, Oil India Limited and NRL, they have joined hands, and they are developing this northeast gas grid. Northeast gas grid. Okay, in this northeast area they are going to develop this particular grid, and these pipelines are already there. Browni Guwahati pipeline as an integral part of Jagdishpur Haldia Bokaro Dhamra pipeline. You locate these pipelines in the atlas today. That is the map question for you. Okay, locate them. Jagdishpur is in Uttar Pradesh, near Lucknow, Barauni, Bihar, and Guwahati in Assam. So these particular geographical areas from which this particular pipelines, these particular pipelines are running. So find out these areas. And now it is going to be the Northeast gas grid, a dedicated gas grid for these 8 states of Northeast. And one body is PNGRB. This is PNGRB is established by a 2006 PNGRB Act. Okay, it's a statutory body started with a gazette notification, and under this Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, it's a regulating body for all operations of petroleum and natural gas and associated areas in the country of India. So this PNGRB is the most important regulatory board under this Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. Okay, and next data is regarding the gas production and import. It is by the same ministry's data, and they have given the last 3 years data here. And the important policies which are going on: hydrocarbon exploration licensing policy, that is the most important one under this particular natural gas exploration area, and open acreage licensing policy, that is the second most important policy, and the small field policy. These three are the leading policies by the ministry, and it is working in this area where they are totally upgraded according to the these present conditions of the country. Okay, for the last 2-3 years these upgraded policies are going on, and under this immense advantages are achieved. Next, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship data, MSD's data. We have talked about this ministry a lot of data, and we took year-end review of this ministry also. So some things are repeated here. Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, as I told you, launched in 2015, and first phase was a pilot project for 1 year, and now second PMKVY 2.0 is going on for 2016 to 2020 year, and the target is to train 10 million youth, 1 crore youth by 2020 next year. So that is important, and some important additions are done this time. Third party inspecting agencies are doing evaluation of these training programs. Okay, so there should be a universalization and a standardization of these training programs in the country, and sector skill councils are working in this area, sector skill councils, so that specific sector specific trainings are given, and appropriate employment generation is possible because of this appropriate skilling under this Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana by Ministry of Ministry of Skilling and Entrepreneurship, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship Ministry. Remember the name. Next, these are the MCQs. Try them, put their answer in the comment section. And thanks a lot for today. PDF I would upload on this particular Facebook group and on the Telegram channel. Thanks a lot. Keep watching. It was Amit.